Brinley, I did actually kind of want to start with you a little bit because there were a lot of BYU fans in that gym in Pocatello on Saturday. How many of them were related to you or knew you? Because you grew up, I think it's about roughly the distance from Salt Lake to Provo that you grew up from Pocatello. So,
Yeah,
so how many people in the gym were there for you?
I mean there was a lot. I think there was a lot for Cambry and Amari, just all the Dav. Like we all had people from our like I know my high school team came and Cambry's high school team came, and then like just a lot of like people from Shelley, the Shelley community. So it was like really fun. But yeah,
Are are you surprised that BYU can get a reception like that on the road? I mean, I know Pocatello's not too terribly far away, but does that surprise you at all? Or are there a lot of BYU fans in your home state that you're not
I don't know.
really?
I feel like there's a lot of BYU fans everywhere. Like everywhere you go, there's always BYU fans. But yeah, I don't know. It was more packed than I thought it would be, but also that smaller gym, you can feel
Sure.
like it feels like a lot more people. But yeah, no, it was fun.
For sure. Well, on that note a little bit, you just mentioned all of the Idaho girls that are on this team, and I'm sure a big part of that is Coach Whiting and her background, and she probably wants to recruit the entire Burley High squad, which as a russet you probably don't love, but uh, what kind of a player is the Idaho Hooper? Because it does feel like that state's having a little bit of like a basketball coming of age right now. There are a lot of girls that are coming out to different schools and whatnot. Like what is it about Idaho basketball that you think is starting to sort of catch some more eyes in recruiting circles?
I just feel like it's just getting bigger, like especially like on the girls basketball, high school basketball side. Like there's like 10 years ago there was no clubs or AU or anything, and it's just growing so much. Like we're still not where a lot of states are, but I think it's just growing a lot and there's a lot more like eyes around it. And so yeah, I don't know. I think just everyone just plays hard. Like I feel like there's just like a play hard, defend, like guard, and just that team. I don't know, but that's just what I would say from Idaho is just growing a lot, and so that's super fun.
Do you feel like it prepared you for college basketball? Because you're jumping into the season. You're a true freshman. I have to remind myself all the time, but you're averaging almost 20 minutes a game through. I know it's early, but 20 minutes a game, nearly 20 minutes a game through the first four games of the season. Do you feel like you were kind of prepared for this level of play, the speed, that sort of thing with BYU?
Yeah, no, I think for sure. And I think a lot of AAU, like with Amber, with Utah prospects, prepared me a lot, but also high school ball and just like learning to, I don't know, I feel like our high school just played super unselfish and team basketball, and that's kind of what we're trying to do here at BYU. And so I think that prepared me a lot really well. So yeah.
For sure, for sure. Mariah, let me ask you the same question that I just asked Brinley. Were you surprised at all with how big of a road court advantage, I guess you had in Pocatello over the weekend?
Not really, especially just because I know that there's a big fan base out of Idaho. I mean, even just playing against BYU at Santa Clara, like they had more fans than we did. So it's like I kind of expected that. But yeah, it was a cool environment.
For sure, for sure. Well, on that environment, you had a pretty nice game. Brenly, obviously, next to you had a pretty nice game. You've had a really good start to your BYU career. It feels like this offensive system kind of fits you a little bit, the five out system. I believe Coach Whiting described it as play fast and shoot a lot of threes. Is that kind of how you like to play basketball?
Yeah, I mean, I love to shoot the ball, so I love our offense and kind of how I fit into it. Yeah, it's been great.
Can you describe the game of the girl sitting next to you for me?
Re-
Me's her or her
Wait.
Yeah, yeah. If Taylor can describe the game, Russet for me.
I'd say Brinley is one of the hardest workers I know. I mean, she works very hard on defense. I mean, I know I would not like if she was guarding me because she makes you work for your shot, but also on offense, she's very like just not selfish and is going to take the right shot and do it kind of whatever it takes for us to win. I think everyone appreciates teammates like that. So I mean, I love playing with Bryn. Thank you.
Uh, Brenly, same question, but vice versa. Going to give you a chance to get back at Taylor next year.
I think Mariah just has like passion and fight. Like, she's gonna bring that fire and also just a knockdown shooter. Like every time she shoots it, you just know it's going in. Like you just trust that just because she shoots it with such confidence and you know that she's like put in the work to be that shooter. So that's what I'd say about Mariah is just that fight and shoot the ball. So
Yeah. Last question. I'll get you guys out of here on this because you do have two games this week. McNeese on Tuesday, and then you're probably not looking ahead, but UNC Northern Colorado on Saturday as well. Then you guys after that get a trip to sunny Cancun, so don't look too far ahead. But there is that in the distance as well. What's kind of number one on the list of sort of things this team wants to accomplish, things this team needs to buckle down and focus on this week?
Yeah, I mean, I think a big talk for us is just being locked in on scout. I think the past few games, like we've known who we're guarding and who we're playing against, but like it's not to a T. And I think like thinking ahead a bit, like when we are playing Iowa and Rice, like we gotta have our scout perfectly lead down. So I think this week we gotta really focus in on that and make sure we're closing out the right way. We know what tendencies players want to do. So I think just having that in the back of our mind as we're trying to win.